Hello, everybody. I'm so excited today because we have another love story to share with you. Today, we have Erica Tarantar, and she lives in Chicagoland area. She works in wealth management, and she has a great story to tell. So, without further ado, Erica, thank you so much for joining me today.
Sure, very happy to be here.
Awesome. Okay, Erica. So, tell us what your love life. Relax, relax. You look like you're gonna go into the
Well, I'm
dentist.
just trying to sit up straight, but yeah, no, I'm relaxed.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay. Um, so will you share with everyone watching what your love life was like before we started working together?
Sure. Um, I would say my love life was pretty minimal in advance of starting to work with Barry. I did the very surface level dating. I would, um, I'd go online or I'd ask people here and there if they knew anyone, but it wasn't something I put much effort into. And so it was very haphazard. There was no plan in terms of how I was going to approach it. I was very, uh, I would say my thoughts on what I wanted, how I saw my future were not solidified at all. So that was not helpful. Really previously, probably before starting to marry, my longest relationship may have been like 4 or 5 months, something like that, and never got super serious. So, um, yeah, it was pretty much like a very there wasn't much going on in my love life.
What was the turning point that had you say, I want help, but I need a plan? Like I've planned for other things. Like,
Right.
yeah.
Well, I think I just realized that, I was in my early 40s. I maybe had when I met Barry, just turned like 41, something right in the early stage of my 40s. And, all the things that kind of got me excited back, earlier with like travel and, all the activities I was part of, all my time I was spending doing other things, I realized were all just kind of like a placeholder for what I really wanted, which was finding the right guy for me. And so I just decided I really needed to dedicate myself to it to make it like a part-time job to figure out how I was going to reach that next goal of mine, which was finding my husband. And luckily, I had a friend who was a success story of Barry's, and we chatted, and what she was telling me really resonated in terms of like how Barry was able to help her. And so I had a concrete like example of someone I knew who was helped by the program, and I decided pretty much within like a 48-hour period after hearing Sharon's story and then, talking to Barry that I was in on this and this was kind of like my next big adventure is to try to figure this out in my life.
That's so important. You bring up a few things that there was a placeholder that you were doing other things to kind of fill the space.
Right.
But your truth was you really did want to be doing those things with a husband, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like, yeah, they were I appreciate all those experiences. I don't look back on them and say like I like, did anything that I regret, but I did realize that they were not my what I was ultimately striving for, and they were just temporary and like how they were filling a part of my life versus being with finding my husband was something that would be permanent
Right.
and that, long term. And I at that stage of my life, was, career successful. I was very involved in multiple communities within Chicagoland, investing my, time philanthropically and my resources and so forth. And I still get to do all those things today. I just, they're just in a different way. And, I have the most important thing is like, my future husband, and we can do those things together. At this stage of my life, where we can do those, I can do those things on my own because that's just how we've, agreed that there's still certain things that we do independently. But yeah, they were definitely kind of temporary. And so I decided I wanted to really focus on, what it was I wanted to, who I wanted to be with the rest of my life.
I love that. And lately, we've really been focusing on strategic thinking and what strategic thinkers do. In your career, you focus. In your
Right,
philanthropy, you
right,
focus,
right.
right? In your charity work. Right. Oh my God, my love life. So it's so interesting when we have a friend that got success. It's like, oh, then I can have success too, because we're also alike in this problem, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, I didn't realize that. Well, what I assessed was my problems weren't really my true problems and
No,
getting to the point where I'm at today.
that's right. What did you think were some of those problems? Because what you're thinking is what most high achievers are thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt like, oh, maybe the guy hasn't just crossed my path, or I have, or, I wasn't confident in how I like appeared. And so I was like projecting low confidence when I would like go out in social situations and maybe try to like, meet someone or, on a, whether it be on a date or at like a charity event. I just wasn't putting my true self out there because I had kind of a negative self image. And so I thought like, but oh, this person doesn't like me because I'm, a little overweight or I'm too independent or whatever. And really
Yep.
honestly, like those were just kind of things I told myself without getting like kind of understanding more deeply what it was that was like kind of impeding me.
That's right. So what Erica's sharing is so common among high achievers. And we often wonder, how could such a beautiful, successful, talented person still be alone? We all know people like that. And this is really the reason. It's not what most of you think that it's outside of yourself, right? So we all have stories about ourselves, low self-worth, even though it doesn't appear that way. So Erica, it's beautiful. So what were some of the big overarching um ahas? You don't have to go into like fine details, but what you
Yeah.
discovered that got you to a more reality-based place
Well, I
through the
just thought the
program.
first part of the program, was so important for me to really understand myself and then to figure out a path forward. But I mean, even from like day one, which is just the mantras, like those are just things that I found the ones that resonated with me. I would say them over and over, and I wrote them down. I would be in my car driving, and I would say them to myself. Um, Honestly, it's kind of been not embarrassing, but it's kind of looking back, it's kind of laughable that this was going on. But I I remember before the program when someone would be like, "What are you looking for?" I couldn't even answer that question consistently. Like I would tell people different things, not what they wanted to hear necessarily, but just because like I wasn't sure myself. So having the program helped me figure out like what was the most important things, like obviously zoning in on vision, values, and goals, but also what those what those were to me. Um and one big thing for me was, and I don't know, there's probably a few other people who are listening, like I was at the age of my life where I could you know did I want kids, did I want to do my own, what was my like prerogative and thought on that. And like so Barry helped me like actually kind of come to my own realization that I did not want to have my own kids at this stage of my life. That was something that was like kind of an aha moment that I could then clear out of the way to then focus on other things and be very direct when I was meeting people, that was like what I wanted. And I mean, that worked in my favor because most guys also at who I was looking for were kind of like, we've already done the kids thing, so we don't necessarily want to start again. But point is that was like kind of like a clear moment for me. The empowering statement was huge. I like used that all the time, and like I referred to that all the time. So again, it was really just like, and then obviously realizing why some of the what were some of my hangups and things that were like living in my brain that were not allowing me to move forward. So yeah, like there were some some things in childhood, nothing traumatic too much, but just kind of always presuming I was like, overweight, I was unattractive. I was like, I would always had that sitting in my head, and that was just not working to my benefit because I was, basically emitting a low energy and low vibrations, and I was not attracting the type of guy I wanted. So those were like just things I was like, wow, like those little things internally can make like to acknowledge them and figure out how to move forward. And then clarity on what it was I wanted and what were the most important things when searching for someone. That was the biggest differentiator for me.
Beautiful, Erica. Wow, there's so much to unpack there, but
Yeah.
it's so true. From day one, it wasn't just there were mantras, there's healthy ways of thinking, not just optimism and then, oh, it'll happen when it
Right.
happens.
Yeah.
No, we uncovered, we discovered, and then the whole idea, how can you find someone, any of us, when we don't really know what we're looking for? It would be like going to the store and you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you need, or driving in a car without a GPS. So I'm so proud of you. You
Thank
did the work. You really did.
Yeah,
And
like the
you
first two
really,
months, I was just like, I was just all in on all that. And so I was, I just tried to surround myself, with the things that I was supposed to be learning and not trying to get distracted by too many other things because I really wanted to like make the most of it.
another high achiever attribute, focus.
Yeah.
This is what I want. You can't do a million things. This is the season of my life, and this is the decision. Yeah, right. And then tell us what happened next. What is your life like now?
Sure. Well, let's call it, well, I actually remember the exact day. I started with Barry. It was September 11th. So that was just kind of obviously a date that sticks out. But on the following February 19th, I went on a date with Eric. Funny enough, it was my second date of the day. And also I found out later, he had also been on 2 dates that day, which was not something that we had done regularly at all. But anyhow, maybe it was, we had a really close like example of like what it was we didn't want. And then we met each other that evening. So February 19th of 2020, what year? 2023. So last February. So it's 5 months after I started the program. We met we didn't meet for a drink because it was the second date, so it was a little later in the day. Coffee was my first date of that day. But yeah, like we just like it was immediate, like we hit it off. We met on like we met on Bumble. I almost missed my chance because I did not, he likes to tell a story because I did not respond. Once we matched, I didn't respond within the 24-hour window or like initiate the convo. And then he was able to extend it another 24 hours. And he said I got in like literally within the last like few minutes of that period. I don't know if that's exaggeration or not, but anyhow, I guess I would say like just tidbit wise is like, just as long as you think there's a general potential connection, just take the first step of trying to get to know the person. And then you can, with Barry's methodologies, you can really quickly see if this is not like the right person for you. But back to Eric. So we met on the February 19th of 2023. And we didn't see each other for 10 days because I was away and our schedules didn't permit. And then we got together 3 out of 4 nights after that. And then I went away for another 10 days. So, but through the entire period of time, it was just so easy to talk to him. The consistency, he was so consistent. He was funny. He would told me how he felt. I was so comfortable because I felt more comfortable saying like, this is driving some of the conversation, the things that I wouldn't have normally talked about. And he's divorced. He's for a while, like 8-9 years. He has 2 boys, teens. So that was all, that was all attractive to me too, just because I could kind of step into like a family and I could see he was like a great dad and the kids were good kids. And so anyhow, then within 2 months, I met the boys, which I know was like, that was a big step, was me meeting his kids, like within 2 months of meeting him and his parents as well. Sorry, we got dogs. So Barry, you know that. You know what it's
High
like with
five.
dogs at home. Yeah. Uh, so in any event, things were going well. And I don't know. Now, fast forward a year, we bought a house together, we moved in together. And then 3 months after that, we got engaged. So on my birthday, June 5th of this year, he proposed. So yeah, things have gone great. And like one of the things that felt very nebulous when Barry would say it or anyone would say it, but really is true, is like you'll when will you know it'll flow. And I know it rhymes, but like it's like crazy how that happens. It's like not that life is not challenging or there's things that come up, but like you can get through them and it doesn't feel like, there's like it's just you can do anything together kind of thing. So that's kind of where and we're getting married next June.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
There's a whole contingent that's like cheering for Erica
Yeah.
because there's a whole generation that
Yeah.
came from one person. Erica, that's so amazing. So how do you feel now? How does it feel emotionally that you have your man, that you're part of a family, that you're getting married?
It's great. It feels like, you know, like more so than ever, like life feels complete and like actually like less things are going on, but like it just feels more like fulfilled. And it's just great. Like I love, so his family is small. They've joined my dad and stepmom and my brother, my family has invited them into like our home for multiple holidays. We do things together. His boys they're 16, 18. They're really sweet with my nieces. It's just very like heartwarming. And, I just feel more at peace, at ease, comfortable. Like the first word on my empowering statement that I want to feel like was calm. And like I just do feel calm. I mean, not like in every specific like moment in time, but like on the whole, like there's like an ease, there's a calm, there's like a peace about it. And it just feels like, there's more to life when you're doing it with someone else. And I was asking him about this. So I'm like, we agree on the big, we're just so aligned on the big things, but some of the like kind of individual things, we complement each other really well, which is great. And, you know, he's more the person who takes care of the home and does all the things that like truly I'm not that fond of. Like, I mean, not just the physical home, but like the laundry, the cooking, that kind of stuff. And I'm more the financial person and I'm more the like, big picture planner and so forth. But, it just really like works. And it's nice to not feel like you have to be responsible for everything and you can share in that and like, share responsibilities and share successes. And, there's trying times too. But
Course.
that it is very fulfilling and it feels really like I can't say it like feel like accomplished because it wasn't like something that I was like, oh, this is an accomplishment, but like it just feels like this is the right place to be or something, right?
That's right, exactly. Well, the whole feeling of calm and workability and working through things. And I love what you shared about being complimentary. That's what it's about. People ask me, do
Yeah.
opposites attract? It's not about that. It's about a conscious relationship. Erica excels at the finance and big picture, and he does day to day. That's what soulmates essentially are, goal mates. You plan, you dream together. It's the big picture, but it's the day to day. And feeling
Yeah.
safe and calm and family and holidays. It's
Yeah.
it's really what it's about.
Just another thing I wanted to bring up that I kind of um I chuckle about because I wrote it on the Power Statement and I look back and I'm like, how did I know it would be like so perfect like that? Like one of the sentences, I'm just looking to my right because that's where my statement is. It says,
Yeah.
together we build a welcoming home to live out our intimate, active, playful, blah, blah, blah life. And the welcoming home part, like he just loves having people over. He's the one that's getting everything. Like it's my friends that are coming over, but he's the one that's like getting ready. And like, we just love to have people like in our space. And, how many guys would you say are like, so like, up for the, just like, opening their home and, and doing most of the work to get ready for it. So that's just, it really did like kind of come to fruition.
When you see your man is joyful and welcoming and friends and home, what is that emotion? Yeah, I'm a coach, guys. I'm always asking about how things feel to you because that's the joy.
Right, right. And it's like, I get to do what in that space, like I get to still see my friends. I still get to be like social, but I get to share it with him and I get to do it in this, beautiful home that we have together that we're like, we're just building a life together. And I get to open the doors to, for people to come into that and he's totally part of it. So it just makes me feel like, I don't know, just very just very happy and very much that I'm in the right place at this moment.
Right, in the right place at this moment with the right person.
Right.
And then imagine the effects of his boys seeing a conscious relationship and all that partnership, right? And your
Yeah, that is
family.
yeah. Yes, I think that is important to them based on some of the other things that have, transpired in their life and also, just having another adult mentor. I think they would never like come out and say it admittedly, like,
Oh, they're
at this stage of their
teenagers.
life. But I think hopefully, that it's soaking in, it's permeating, and then they'll be able to like, um, whether it's consciously or unconsciously, like benefit from that when they're, at the next stage of their life.
Exactly. No, it makes a really different, an important difference what is modeled for them when they're older.
Right.
That is so
Right.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Erica, I'm so happy for you.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thank
Next
you very much.
June. Next June.
Yeah, next June, in the thick of it all, but it's all very,
It's
I'm planning a party for myself and all my, to have the people who've been so influential in my life be there and they're so happy for us and, to plan a big celebration. That's all the stresses will be worth that.
definitely enjoy even that
Yeah.
journey, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Erica, what would you want the people who are watching today and hearing you who are, maybe in their late 30s, early 40s or later, and they just feel like, oh, it's so hard or there's no one out there. What would you tell them about investing in the program to get to the result?
Yeah. Well, I would first say that like I experienced all those feelings and thoughts and so forth. So it's totally like, normal. But there is, there are options in terms of like moving beyond that. And that, yes, it will take some personal work and effort, but like that's everything in your life. If you want to be successful, you have to like invest the time and energy and, financial resources to be able to like make a change. And I think you should, I quickly, something Barry said when I was in the program was like, you know, you can have a coach for a million different things. Like you can have a business coach, you can have a piano teacher, you can have a pickleball coach, you have coaches for everything. And it's okay to like need some help and coaching in this side of your life because it is something that we just don't have any kind of, there's no training or like class that you take or whatever leading up to it. So if it's just something that doesn't come naturally to you, invest in having someone assist you in it because, you know, you're giving yourself a much better chance of getting to that goal that you want to get to, which is, to meet your husband. So, it is a leap, but like I would say it's definitely a worthwhile leap and you should like, there's good things on the other side of it.
No, absolutely. And Erica is in wealth management. So she looks at the
Yeah.
ROI of her investments and
Yeah.
right. So we're looking at, I don't know, the next 40, 50 years.
Right, exactly. No, it definitely, there's always in my head a calculation, but some things there's just also not ability to put a price on. And so you just have to, uh, take the leap and like work towards what you're looking for. Cause it's just, I bet if didn't, or I didn't do anything, I'd still be sitting at my condo, and keeping busy with doing other things, but still not, getting that much closer to meeting the right one, because it was a very like passive, venture for me before all of this. So
Mhm. Well,
it's just,
thank you so much for sharing
thank
yourself
you.
and your time. I know it's very meaningful for everyone. And we're going to share some of the pictures that you showed.
Okay.
And we're excited. Mike and I, we love following along and seeing your future wedding and all the good stuff that's coming up. We
Yeah.
celebrate with you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for, your support during the program. And, I would say also like, um, one thing that didn't get mentioned, just like different components of the program that are really impactful. Like I'm still in touch with my accountability partner that Barry set me up with. It just happened that it was timing more than anything, but we are so alike in like our professional endeavors. And so, there's lots of things that still are in my life a year plus later that I, took away from Barry's program. So yeah, no, I will continue to share as we hit milestones.
That's so awesome. All right, Erica, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye, Barry.
Bye.